Hey team, it's Castles here. Today I'm going to show you how I do Muta Ling. This is post-patch 1.2, so there's going to be phoenixes coming a little bit quicker than usual with their reduced build time. So this is my teammate Yonix, or a friend of mine. We've been playing a lot of PBZ, and a lot of people are saying this is the hardest matchup for Zerg right now, which I don't entirely agree with, but each to their own. I love Muta Ling versus Protoss, but a lot of people can't use it anymore because Phoenix start to negate it. So I'm going to show how to play it a bit more aggressive and how to be able to keep your mutas in the game for the most part and not be able to get completely out microed and stuff. You have to be a bit more aggressive and make a little less drones, I feel. I used to make ridiculous amounts of drones, but now I've really cut back. It's different though. You need to afford more upgrades, you need to afford more units, and you need to be able to sort of keep the pressure on and not let them get too far ahead. Now the plus with going with this build is you're going to have a few corruptors in the mix, so they're not exactly going to be able to go Colossus to kill off all your Ling. So at least you have that going for you. So far I've gone 14 gas, 14 hatch, or pardon me, 14 pool, that's what I usually go for. I don't go 14 hatch, I don't go 15 hatch, I don't hatch for a long time. I feel like I don't like to go bother the probe with a drone because the lost mining time just isn't worth it to me if you're going to throw down a pylon anyway and then cancel it. And they can still come back and throw down another one. There was for a while people would let the pylon finish and then start building a gateway, and then if you killed the pylon the gateway would continue to build. But that's not really cost effective. So I wait till my first lings are out, which I usually make right after my spawning pool, which I didn't in this case. I have a lot more money than I want to, and I left, let's see, 2 guys on gas. I usually take 2 off, but I left 2 on just for this build. So now I have a quick Evo chamber going down, and I'm going to get +1 melee really quick. I can't tech Delaris, so I might as well spend the gas, because I have to finish this other queen. Here's my Lings coming out, ready to chase the pro boy, and that's why I have extra money, is because I didn't expand. Now I've got more than enough to go send down to our natural. At my opponent's base, we'll see looks like he's doing 3-gate expand, which I know he is. And on my view, I see that there was a core, so he didn't go forge fast expand or forge nexus first or anything like crafty like that really. Usually with this build, I see a lot of people getting a good amount of sentries out because they just want to spend their gas, and that's fine. I don't care. That's easy pickings for me because now I've got a few. More than a few, pretty good amount of lings here, and +1 takes forever, so it's not going to be done for a little bit. Here's saturated, here isn't done yet, but I have my queen ready and waiting. I'm going to go up and just poke around and see what I can see. I knew he'd expanded by that time, but so it's just a matter of what can I kill. I see a lot of sentries and 1 zealot, so I'll do what I can to pick a few off. It hurts to lose sentries early on, so I managed to get a couple kills. Lings are really great early game. As long as they have their speed, so Lings are fairly useless, unless you're just going for straight spine crawler and trying to rush Muta, but that's a whole different build on its own. So far, I haven't been too worried about getting my mutas out. I don't have any guys on gas yet, and I just sort of want to focus on spending my money, because when you only make Lings, you inevitably end up with ridiculous amounts of money. So I'm just going to crank all into drones, +1 is finished. I'm not going to go for +2 right away, I don't think, because I want to get my Spire down. Usually I'll go with 2 Evo Chamber on this build to try and get car pace out quicker, but I don't know, I would rather have a few more mutas just to test it around, because we do practice this build quite a bit. So here back at my opponent's base is added on nothing, just probes, so his unit count's fairly low, but I'm not going to try and take advantage of that, because I'd much rather just get my drone count up. Most players that open with heavy sentry do get into hallucinate, so it's always good to have an overseer for a push. If you see, if you think there's too many units, they're probably hallucinated, and it's great to scout with the Phoenix, especially since so many players are worried about Phoenix now. If they do attack with it, if they hit an Overlord or something, check to see if your Overlord's still at full health. If it's not, they're real, and if it is like this, still full health, it's fake. So then now I know he didn't go fast target on me right away. But he tried to pull fast one on me, and he throws down 2 more Stargates because he sees my Spire's almost done. It's because of the Phoenix buff, you can respond with Stargates, to which you usually weren't able to. See, my Spire is basically finished, and he's just like, well, I'm gonna get Phoenix now, even though you know, it seems absurd to try and make a counter that late into my progress. So I'm still a little bit lacking on drones here. I've got +2 coming for melee. I'm saving up gas here a little bit just so I can get a good Muta pop. I personally don't like to pop like 1 or 2 mutas at a time. I like to have a whole bunch of them. Poking with my lings, see what I can do. A lot of zealots here. I want to kill a few sentries. Probably not the best exchange, but I got a little bit done, and this scouting information's kind of nice just to see as this unit composition. Back at my base, I'm working down the rocks here because I'd love to get a third up. I've got more lings in production and a good deal of gas. I usually like to let my my mineral count and my gas count match up, and then I'll make my mutas. Because 1 or 2 at a time, just floating around, sort of reveals your count, and I like to just spring them all up once. Here he knows I have Muta coming, but he's not cannoning up or anything. He's just getting Phoenix ready and tacking on a few more gateways. He's got a forge out for cannons, but no upgrades yet. What do we have? Good saturation at natural. I'm fine on my main, so now I'm gonna cut drones for the most part and just try and get some mutas out. I didn't know that he had a Stargate. I have no idea. In fact, I didn't know anything was going on here because I don't like to scout, and most of the time I would rather not make the Overseer because I'm usually going to go into Muta versus Protoss, so I'd rather just wait a little bit longer and have 1 extra Muta instead of an Overseer that's probably going to get picked off anyway, which in this case is fine because the Phoenix would kill it off eventually. I'm working down my gold rocks because I just got to stay ahead. Every little advantage I can get I'll take because he still has his, so if I want my gold I can get it that much quicker. Got a good deal of mutas here, and +1 airs on the way. I'm getting infestation pit so I can tech the hive so I can get adrenals quick. Here's a carapace 1 coming down 2. I gotta keep my lings upgraded because I want to be able to overwhelm his ground. Now that he's going Phoenix, he's gonna have less of a ground army, and if I can just swarm it and kill it, it'll be easy, just so easy. I won't have to even worry about it because lings are devastatingly strong if you go with this build and you really rush your upgrades. Hive takes forever, so I just need to like let it run and keep bolstering my army. We have a little engage over here, just barely miss each other, and I see that now. Okay, he's got a lot of Phoenix out. I'm pretty worried because I'm gonna lose all my mutas for the most part. I start making corruptors right away. If you just mix 3 or 4 corruptors into your muta army, it seems like they auto target the corruptor before the muta, and corruptors have high armor, high health, and they do a lot of damage. So for the most part, you're gonna render their Phoenix useless. Usually wait a little bit. Don't keep making like a lot of mutas just because you're getting a few corruptors out. Because in the time the corruptors are taking to make, and before the Phoenix are cleared off the field, you're gonna lose probably all your mutas just because they're slow. And you can double back and attack because Phoenix have a really bad stopping speed, but they're still gonna die. So I've got a few corruptors out. I'm just sort of, you know, holding on to my gas and minerals for a little bit till I know what I want to spend my larva on. I've got lings up here ready to backstab if he tries to move out, or at least sort of in position, and there's not a whole lot I can do at this point, so I just try to drone up. When your drones are getting harassed, just keep making drones, don't worry too much about other units. Right now, okay, Carapace 1 just finished, so I'm at Hive Tech, and I'm a bit preoccupied with killing this junk to get adrenal glands and to get another upgrade, but they will come because there is an attack back here. Unfortunately, the AI really likes to kill cannons and not target things that it can hit, even if you move away from it. So I didn't get very much done here. He's at 0-0-0. I'm at 1-2, and adrenals is going to come pretty quick.